This is absolutely wild, as the Suns are amongst teams interested in some trade rumors, but they are among favorites to land a center that could be a pivotal change for this team in Robert Williams III. So we're going to be looking at some potential trade offers that the Suns could explore to bring in a player like Robert Williams, and if he would be a good fit for this Suns roster. We'll be looking at all of that and more on this episode of Suns Digest. I'm Bruce Velez, and you guys have been absolutely fantastic showing your love and support for us down below in the comment section. We really do appreciate. The last trade video that we did got a crap ton of comments, so I really do appreciate all your guys' thoughts. So let us know what you guys think in the comment section on this video. Without further ado, let's dive in. Make sure to grab a snack. And like I said in the introduction, the Suns are interested in a center. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. I think the Suns are interested in a lot of shakeups. As we've broken down on this channel recently, I think the Suns need some shakeups. The fans think the Suns need some shakeups with this roster. Regardless if Kevin Durant is healthy, if this team is fully healthy, the injury bug's still going to be riddled in Phoenix, and it's not going to go away. So there are some things, even on the edges, that need to be changed or addressed for this team to have a better chance of competing if those injuries still continue to be seen in Phoenix. So we're going to be looking at this report here, looking at two reports basically from Evan Cedery and going over what Gambo had to say as well. So let's dive in and let's look at all of this. First one is from Evan Cedery, where he said the Suns will be active on the trade market like we all suggest. Mentions players like Yusuf Nurkic, Grayson Allen, and Josh Okogie are the players many expect Phoenix to shop for rotational upgrades. Phoenix's 2031 first round pick is viewed as a strong asset in the marketplace as well if they decide to make an even aggressive move. And I don't think that the Suns will use that 2031 first round pick unless they're looking to either go all in on a big center or if they're having to use it to move off of Yusuf Nurkic. But if we want to look at this update from Evan Cedery as well, we can see that the Trailblazers have a strong trade market developing for Robert Williams. And the Bucks, Lakers, Suns, Rockets are among the contending teams who have recently checked in on Robert Williams. Robert Williams is averaging 9.6 points, 6 rebounds, and 1.9 blocks in 18.7 minutes per game. So Robert Williams this season has been healthy for the most part. Did not start out healthy, but has been healthy ever since and has been a pretty solid rotational big for the Blazers. And as we all know, the Suns did a deal with the Blazers to send their big last year and DeAndre Ayton over there, and he obviously is in that group alongside Donovan Clingan, Duop Reith, and we've looked at the Blazers as a potential team to kind of get some of these centers from for the Suns, as like we mentioned, they have 4 centers on their roster, and for a Blazers team that's trying to tank, they don't need those 4 centers, and the Suns, let's just say, need that big body to help down low. So I think the Suns and Blazers should be definitely discussing, like I said, if it's a marginal move or it's a bigger move to kind of get something done. And I think Robert Williams would be a perfect piece for the Suns to add. I think the only concern is his health, like I mentioned, but as long as he can stay healthy, he's a perfect rim blocker, perfect rim protector, shot blocker for this Suns team. He's going to be that interior defender that you do need. He's a fantastic lob threat, and he can stretch a little bit to the mid-range to hit some jump shots, which I like to see. He's tried to work on his three-pointer in the past, so if Budenholzer does want to bring that out of him, he could. The only issue, like I said, is obviously that he has some injury history, and if the Suns obviously want to stay healthy, trading for a big that has that recent injury history might not be the best one to look at. But like I mentioned, let's look at this. Gambo had some things to say as well as he said Williams is a good player. Would not be surprised if they like him, but since he's injured a lot and the salary does not really match for Phoenix, it will be tough. And if we want to look, kind of hinting there right there by accident, but if we want to look over the rules for the Suns to do trades, like I mentioned, the Suns cannot aggregate salaries. They cannot combine 2-for-1. If a player is traded from Phoenix, the Suns have to take either equal or less value, and the Suns cannot do 2-for-2s or 3-for-3s. The Suns can only do 1-for-1 trades. So for Robert Williams making $12 million this season, the Suns, if they were to acquire him in a 1-for-1 trade with the Blazers, would have to send someone out making more than that $12 million. And for the Suns, there are only 5 current players under roster who make that money. Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Yusuf Nurkic, and Grayson Allen. And I can tell you that the Suns are definitely not trading Durant, Beal, or Bradley or Devin Booker to the Portland Trailblazers for Robert Williams. So that leaves 2 possible options. Do you try to give them their reunion back with Yusuf Nurkic, or do you give them Grayson Allen, who they did not want to have on their roster already? That's why he got moved to you in the DeAndre Ayton deal. And do they want to have that added shooting? Now, I think for the Suns, I have talked about some Grayson Allen trades in the past, but ultimately, Grayson has kind of found himself on this bench and has really unlocked himself with his three-point shooting and getting comfortable. And I truly think it was just a little bit of a slow start for Grayson, and I don't want to see Grayson moved off this roster at this point. So I think he is kind of a lock for a guy to stay alongside guys like Jones and stuff. So I think the only possible contract to acquire Robert Williams would be trading away Yusuf Nurkic. So in this proposed trade here that I kind of cooked up now, like I said, it's most likely not going to happen, but Robert Williams for Yusuf Nurkic could work if the Blazers wanted to have a reunion with Yusuf Nurkic once again, if they felt comfortable that they could buy him out or felt that he could somehow get back to his own way if they traded away DeAndre, and they could do that if they wanted to move up a player in Robert Williams. Now, I guess obviously as well, if they were doing this trade, the Blazers would be getting some sort of draft compensation. It would not just be a 1-for-1 straight up. I just don't know off the top of my head which draft compensation would it be. Would it be the 2031 first round pick? Would it be some second round picks that the Suns have? Ultimately, the Suns don't have much draft capital to send to Portland, but they would probably have to send some sort of asset. And also, the third realistically thing as well is this could also be a 3-team trade if the Portland Trailblazers didn't want to acquire a player in Yusuf Nurkic. And I think that the Blazers could eventually, if this were to be a foundation of a trade, the Blazers, if they were to get some draft capital from the Suns in this deal and were to able to move off of Yusuf Nurkic to either get more and to get even more draft capital and, just a filler young piece, I think the Blazers instantly do it. There are some possible teams that do need centers that do come to the top of my mind. Obviously, the Charlotte Hornets, if they're looking to explore a trade with Nick Richards, and they obviously don't have Mark Williams is kind of bouncing back from injury, maybe going after a player like Yusuf Nurkic could be a possibility in a 3-team deal. They're also very inclined to do 3-team deals because they have cap space. Another team, maybe the Pistons want to go in and do a 3-team deal because they have cap space. The Jazz want to go and do a 3-team deal because they have cap space. Some of these teams at the trade deadline as well could have more additional cap space from doing more moves that they could take on said contract. Maybe the Nets, if they free away Cam Johnson and they trade away Dorian Finney-Smith, they have more cap space. They can absorb a contract like Yusuf Nurkic and trade something like a random other filler piece to the Blazers. Therefore, a trade could get done. I don't think that the possibilities are endless for a 3-team deal with that. I just didn't know any creative things. But I do think that the Suns getting Robert Williams is a possibility if the front office does want to go through with it. Now, like I said, it's very hard for the Suns to make these moves because they're in the second apron. They don't have a lot of tradable contracts outside of the big three. So ultimately, if you are still wanting to build around this big three, which they do, they're not going to split it up this season, at least. They're going to go around and get guys that are going to fit in and help out. And I think contracts like Okogie and Yusuf Nurkic are the ones to look out for the Suns to possibly throwing in some rumors, throwing in some contracts, in some trades to get better at that center position. But ultimately, let me know what you guys think. I think Williams would be better, obviously, than Yusuf Nurkic, even if he is injury prone. He's played more games than Yusuf Nurkic has this season, has been able to be more readily than Yusuf Nurkic has been this season so far. And I realistically think that adding any center to this team by trading out Yusuf Nurkic is just going to benefit the X factor of this squad because Yusuf Nurkic, unfortunately for this team, hasn't been healthy since the start and doesn't look like he's going to get healthy through the entirety of the year. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section, what you ultimately think. Do you think Robert Williams would be an upgrade over Yusuf Nurkic? Do you think there's a possibility that there is a likelihood of us getting a player in Robert Williams? Let me know in the comment section. Like I said, you guys are absolutely fantastic. Truly appreciate all you guys, and you guys have been absolutely great. Thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Have a great rest of your night, and go Phoenix Suns. Peace out, y'all.